What's up, guys? Coach Chamberlain here. This football coaching, the Coaching 101 podcast. Sorry, guys, mix them up. Okay, sometimes we do multiple podcasts. Coaching 101 podcast. We're at the Kentucky Athletic Administrator Association conference here in Louisville, Kentucky. A big day and a half, 2-day event. We're live all day, so we're getting finally into the closing hours. We're here with Ace Sports. Ace Sports, if you don't know, is like the cheat code in fundraising for high schools, man. It really is. It's taken kind of the nation by storm. If you're in a state that already has a bunch of them, you've probably seen the video boards going up. We're in Kentucky today because we're trying to move into this area and put these boards up at every high school stadium that will have them. Asports.com. Reach out to Mark Bridges. He's the guy. He's the man with the plan. He knows all the good details. Excellent company to work with. They're going to help you to get a big ticket built video board, get it paid off, and then start putting money in your pocket. Lots of success stories out there. Asports.com, check them out. We are here with Coach Gahafer today, and I'm calling him Coach. He doesn't coach currently, but he has. I guess you do. You talk about your quarterback development. That's coaching. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do a little bit of freelance quarterback coaching right now, but also I have some previous experience coaching high school as well.
For sure. So, we were kind of conversing beforehand, and it sounds like your experience has been pretty awesome. So introduce yourself, talk about your path.
Yeah, so my name is Austin Gahafer. I'm a local of Louisville. Graduated from St. X, which is a perennial high school powerhouse here in the state of Kentucky, and played under the great Coach Glazer. I know he's still coaching basketball now at St. X, but great mentor, and he's really the person that kind of led me on the path to my college career, which I ended up at Morehead State. Morehead State was a phenomenal experience. It ended up playing all 4 years. Was a 4-year starter up there, and then had a little bit of experience playing overseas. So I played in Germany and played in Italy for a year. This is all before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then sooner or later everybody's got to hang up the cleats. So yeah, it's been an awesome experience, and I love sharing my my football knowledge with the younger generation. And I've always had a place in my heart for the game of football.
Man, that's awesome, dude. So, we're talking to Coach McPeak this last night when he introduced us, and it sounded like you're kind of a stud over at Morehead.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty humble. I don't like to say stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I've got a few records at Morehead. I played quarterback there, like I said, for all 4 years, and people that know Morehead State University know the guy Phil Simms, and I know that jumps off the page as a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but having quarterback records there is something to be proud of for sure, especially now that I'm finished playing. Wasn't really something I thought about at the time, but yeah, it's been an awesome journey, and I'm very blessed to have the coaches and teammates that I did.
Record-holding quarterback here on the podcast. So we brought Austin in today to talk a little bit about quarterback development, because I know this is one of those that it seems like everyone's a quarterback guru, number one. I've literally missed swing and miss on head coaching jobs because the next guy said he was a quarterback guru. So, and I just refuse to claim that, one, because I'm not a quarterback trainer, but I can teach a guy. But you legit, might be the role that we're all pretending we feel. So talk to me about quarterback development, really starting with kids. I assume you're training all age groups. When do we need to start kind of separating them? And just talking about those first few years of development.
I get kids, training-wise all the way from elementary school through high school. So I'm used to dealing with a variety of quarterbacks and, different ranges of development. Some guys even transitioning from other positions as well. I think it's a thing where you just got to focus on the basics. And I think a lot of these gurus get wrong because they start getting into these fancy throws and, off-balance throws, a lot like you'll see at the NFL level. But I think when it comes down to quarterback training, especially for the youth, is like, let's work on the footwork. Let's work on the X's and O's. Let's work on, the basic foundational stuff. And then that's how you get to the point of the Patrick Mahomeses and the Josh Allens and all those guys that are, jumping off the page and on our TV.
I feel like everyone does. It seems like now if you're a quarterback, you're practicing off-balance throws and you're practicing odd arm angles as a freshman. And I'm like, what if you just throw the hitch? See a hitch, throw a hitch. That's almost like vanished in our repertoire.
Yeah, and that's another one to mention. I mean, timing, anticipation, little things like that will get you a lot longer way in the quarterback world than any of that other stuff. It's the old Steph, when Steph Curry came to the NBA, I mean, everybody's shooting these half-court shots. I mean, like let's just focus on down the nuts and bolts, the basics, and then we'll build up from there. So I think that's where a lot of gurus kind of go wrong with the arm slot changes and stuff. I was kind of blessed. I also had a baseball background too, so I played middle infield for St. X as well in high school, and I thought that was maybe going to be my career going forward after high school. But yeah, I just got blessed with the opportunity to play Division I football, and I couldn't really pass it up.
No, you're not going to pass that
Yeah.
up. So as we go into the progression, okay, so I'm taking I've got a almost 7-year-old at home. I don't know if he's going to play sports or not, but I'm going to try my hardest to get him to go there. Where do we start? So you talk about footwork, talk about timing. When are we introducing things like reading a defense? You said anticipation, or how does all that work? Like how do we get all that on a schedule where I know I'm not screwing my kid up by fast forwarding too fast or delaying his development?
Yeah, I think footwork's the number one thing. I think learning how to throw, a lot of teams have gone to shotgun now, learning how to throw quick game, learning how to throw screens, learning how to throw, 1, 2, 3 balls, got to have different trajectories on throws, anticipation, like that stuff I think comes first, and then you start reading defenses and really and I don't want to overcomplicate it either. That's another thing that a lot of people like to make mistakes on, when I was in high school, it was mostly like 1, 2, 3 run, but when you get to college and some of these other levels, you start reading defenses as opposed to actually just reading receivers. So yeah, it's a never-ending development process. You're always learning, and that's a thing where don't get frustrated with it because it's the hardest position in sports. It really is, and you're always learning, you're always developing, but just working on those foundational skills, and I think it all begins with the footwork.
So now that you've played at multiple echelons of this, multiple levels, right? I like echelons. It's a very fancy word. Did the game change for you? Obviously, it sped up. Athletes became, they're recruited athletes now. But is playing quarterback just playing quarterback? If I have a youth level quarterback, is he doing this? Should he be doing the same stuff as a varsity high school, as a college quarterback, or are we making things too complicated at that level?
Yeah, I think sometimes you're overcomplicating things. I mean, yes, kids need to start training. I think that, I'm also I was in the strength and conditioning world for a moment too. I'm a big believer in developing, the basic foundational movements, even with strength training, learn how to squat, learn how to press, row, all those things properly. Like, I think that even starts earlier now. I think a lot of kids are starting to pick up on that though. Even in middle school, I think kids need to start with some kind of basic strength training program. And, that's going to help you on the field too. Get you stronger, get you faster, and then just finding a good mix of both of those and combining it together is gonna help the overall athlete.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the RPO game. So we're gonna slowly work back to the quarterback run game because I'm a huge proponent of quarterback runs.
Yep.
Where does the RPO game fit, like, mentally for a quarterback? Are they going out thinking, hey, this is a stinking pass play? Does it depend? Like, is it determined by the coach? When you get an RPO read, how do you walk into that? Are you like, I'm gonna chuck this ball, or can you truly read it?
Yeah, I firmly believe you can read it. I mean, it's going to take some learning and really some eye discipline is what I like to say, because it puts the defense in such a bind because they have two responsibilities, right? They have gap responsibility, but they also have to play the pass as well. So you're basically just making them wrong in the RPO game, and that's what it comes down to, But if you can slow it down, get some reps, it's repetition. The more reps you get, and I always like to say too, for quarterbacks and really any skill position, ball security is job security. Yeah. That's the thing that I've always been taught, as you, especially it becomes even more important as you level up and, get to high school, college and all that. But when it comes to an RPO, it's run first. So you don't ever want to, if it's that in-between read, some of those guys will give you that in-between read. It's always a give until it's a throw with the RPO.
See, we have quarterbacks that are every play's like, if I call a pass play, it's a keep and run.
Yeah,
We've got them that do that
Absolutely.
too, man. All right, quarterback run game. We obviously, and I guess I'm asking this on a development standard, at what point do you start reducing the time you're spending on reading coverages and anticipation and because there's only so much time to practice.
Yep.
To where we're going to go put his nose in there. And with you having played all these levels, kind of where did you mentally take with the run game? Like, you understand you could get hurt. Now, as a coach, I understand that, hey, I might lose my quarterback right here, or I might get 35 yards and a touchdown. We don't know, right? So kind of talk to me about the quarterback run game mentally, where it hit you and what you're teaching your guys now.
Yeah, well, I was never really a running quarterback. I mean, you could tell from my stature, I was, 6'1", 200 pounds in college. So, I'm not going to be the one to take a beating and run over these like 235-pound linebackers. So,
For sure.
So yeah, that's not really my area of expertise. But like, I was very much a person that was improvisational, though. A play breaks down. I think every quarterback needs to have that in their bag, no matter what your speed or, how much you use your legs. Because sometimes plays don't, they don't end up like the way they're drawn up. And that's just the fact behind it. But, just seeing the passing lanes, in the line kind of open up. Sometimes you just need to step up into the pocket and take what they give you, especially on like critical third down and medium, third down and long. Sometimes they'll be playing two-man, defense has your back turned to you. So, just take what they give you, see that green grass, and just go get it for your team.
That's awesome. Last topic here, man, and I'll let you go. I know it's been a long day. We've all been up here since way too early this morning.
Yeah.
We know that resiliency is like a key aspect. Look, I'm a military guy, so we practice on resiliency all the time. Obviously, a very high suicide rate in the military community, and so we can constantly have to harp on resiliency and just being mentally tough.
Yep.
Quarterbacks are no different, really, though, man. I mean, like you talked about earlier, it's the hardest position in sports. And now I'm going to put a freshman, a seventh grader, a sixth, or whatever classification I'm teaching. I've got to put someone there to catch the snap and read something and throw a ball, or read an RPO, or run the ball, whatever. What was kind of the best thing you ever had that taught you resiliency? To keep you mentally tough for your years of playing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for your service. I mean, I always show major respect to, our troops and the people that serve our country, because without that, we don't have anything. So, I mean, yeah. So, but resiliency really just comes down to toughness. When I think of resiliency, I think of toughness. So like, bang, throughout the season you're going to get these nicks, these knacks. I mean, my junior year was probably our best year at Morehead State. We had a chance. We came one game shy of winning the conference that year, but I was also battling a third-degree ankle sprain the entire year. I was taking 6 to 8 ibuprofens just to play, spatting it up, and it's on my
rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Yeah, and not to mention that, like, it's on my plant leg, it's on my right leg. So, anytime I try to make that shift to throw, I'm feeling it. So, but yeah, it just comes down to toughness and what you're willing to do for your teams, your coaches, fan base, just getting the job done no matter what.
Well, it seems like it's a big topic in right now, especially because we have this new generation of kids, right? That we have helicopter parents. They're fairly pampered, and we're in the quitting community. Like, we talked to Coach McPeak this morning, right? And he talked about the transfer portal is just the I quit portal. It's like whatever's going on. Either I'm not good enough to get the position, or coach is coaching me too hard, or some of them are out there for good reasons. Some of them are getting away from a bad situation. And I get that, and you can't put everybody in one basket. But overall, as a whole, any position, but quarterbacks especially, because only one of those gets to play each game, right?
Yep.
It seems like we just have the ability to leave and go somewhere else and try again.
Yep.
So it's hard to build resiliency in kids, even in high school. Like in Oklahoma, we have a transfer portal now. Right? Luckily, it's only one, but still, like, if I had the opportunity, I don't guess opportunity. If there was the way out there that, when the times got tough when I was a kid, maybe I would have left. Like, you can't transfer portal out of your parents' home, right?
Yeah.
So it's just an extension of the home that I think is a football team. So what can we do moving forward to kind of wrangle that in and get kids to stay where they're at and just bite down and grit through it?
Well, football, I think, and I'm obviously biased, is the greatest game ever invented.
That's great.
Because
you're not biased. That's true.
Yeah.
Factual.
But you are dealing with so much. You have teamwork, but I think the biggest thing you're going to get out of it is the competitiveness, because in the real world everything's competition. That's just the reality of it. If you're going to make it in this world, you're going to compete. And honestly, it's like just the adversity aspect. Kind of like what you're talking about. You have to be able to deal with adversity through your life, and that comes through competition sometimes. Sometimes you'll have a guy you're competing with, you have ebbs and flows of you doing well, not doing well. It's how you handle certain stuff when it comes down to it. But just dealing with adversity, and I think that is partially true. It's partially how you're raised, but it's also the coaching staff you have behind you. I think coaches need to take a great responsibility in being a teacher, almost being like that second parent to some of these kids,
For sure.
and that helps them get through it. But I'm very blessed. I've had great coaches at all levels. I've had great support from my parents. I'm just extremely blessed, and I hope, but that's the thing is, like, this game is going to teach you adversity, and you just have to learn how to deal with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting to the last part here, man, and I want to talk about your recruitment, and then you ended up going to Germany to play. Mm-hmm. How was that? Like, what was your recruitment like? Mm-hmm. So coming out of high school, you recruited to a fairly local college, I assume, mm-hmm. right?
Yep.
What does that look like, and how did you know like that was the right choice for you?
Oh, so coming out of high school, I got recruited by Kentucky great Andre Woodson. He's a Heisman runner-up behind Tebow. So, him walking into St. X and, actually wanting to get me to Moorhead was unbelievable. I mean, everybody in the hallways like, Andre Woodson's here, Andre Woodson's here. But he was an incredible coach, incredible mentor. Unfortunately, he was only there 1 year, but we still stay connected at some aspects. But, and then, I play at Moorhead, and the recruiting process for, it's still a developing league over internationally, but they are growing it. I mean, you see more NFL games getting there every year.
For sure.
And I think eventually we might have a team over there. So I don't know. That's just kind of my theory. But it was kind of funny how it all happened. I mean, literally came from a Facebook Messenger, right? So this guy did his research on me, all my records and tallies at Moorhead. He's like, hey, are you interested in playing? I mean, I had numerous messages too, but one stuck out in mind where I ended up going, which was the Potsdam Royals. And they have a great program there now too. I mean, they keep developing. They won the German Football League championship, I believe, last year. But yeah, get a message on there, don't really know what to expect from it. At the time, it's not very common for people playing football. I mean, there's other sports, basketball, soccer, all that stuff over there. But football is still a growing sport, and it's evolved over the years since I've been there. But it just came from a Facebook message, and
awesome.
And he's kind of giving me the details of it, and everything looks good. End up signing a contract, and I had second thoughts, getting on that plane, knowing that I'm knowing nobody going over there to Germany. So that's kind of a crazy feeling, a surreal feeling. But yeah, just very fortunate to have the opportunity to extend my career after college. Played there and then ended up in their 1 year contract. So, played over in Germany and then played over in Italy for a year. And man, I had a blast doing it. I mean, you don't make a ton of money, you don't make life-changing money, but at the same time, like, the experience and the overall camaraderie from some of the guys that I met over there, I got some buddies in different countries now, so it's kind of crazy. So if I want to go to Denmark or Australia, or if I want to go to those places, I can hit one of those guys up and be like, hey, what are we doing?
I still cherish the relationship, and it's been fading, and I need to be better about keeping it. But the Army sent me to London for England for a couple of weeks, and I made a good friend there in the English Army. Yeah. And British Army. I don't know what to call you, Ricky Layer. Figure it out.
Redcoats.
I call him Princess because his last name's Layer.
Yeah.
So pronounced Leia, so we call him Princess Leia. But anyway, yeah, it's wonderful. And then as a guy, I got to spend 21 days in Germany with the Army as well. Mm-hmm. Like, there's not a cooler place to just hang out for a little while.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I envy you in your time there. So it's fun just going over
it was so much fun.
with other groups.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, man, I'll let you go. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. For you guys that are still hanging with us, asports.com. Excuse me. Reach out to Mark Bridges. He's on the ads of the podcast. I don't know. They're not here live. I'll probably put them in later when we edit all this up. Reach out to A Sports. They are the cheat code for fundraising for you and your school. It's taken over the nation, man. This video board and really putting kids on a, celebrating all their successes. And every team can do it. You can do it with your baseball, your softball, basketball. Just because you're not a football school doesn't mean you can't get a video board of some kind. They've got lots of packages for your new gymnasium, your old gymnasium. Whatever it is you're trying to celebrate kids, we got something for you. So reach out to A Sports. Appreciate you guys. This is the last of the last live episodes from Louisville, Kentucky. We'll talk to you later.